This is the interior of the Heart Nebula, known as IC 1805, a large emission nebula lying some 7,000 light-years from Earth, and known for its complex and intriguing structures such as Melot 15 here, and its pyramid-like structure down here. This image represents perhaps the only surviving image I have left of my experiments using an uncooled one-shot color planetary camera back in 2023 to produce astrophotography images of deep sky objects. The primary hard drive that I had the image on for developing failed, and while I was awaiting a new one to show up, the backup hard drive that it was stored on also failed, proving once again that Murphy's Law is always lurking in the background. I was delighted to discover that I still had this information just yesterday, sitting on an old external SSD. I must have saved it for some reason and forgot why. I developed it promptly. I mean, after all, it's been waiting for 3 years. But the discovery of this master allowed me to finally get around to making a video that I've also been wanting to cover for a couple years. The video is about the fact that there is a much better way to balance the color cast and masters from one-shot color cameras than using SCNR, which is just about the worst possible way a person can go about color balancing such information. Let me show you. This is the dual band OSC master as it appeared after stacking. The camera used was a Player 1 one-shot color camera using a ZWO dual band filter. Like many typical one-shot color camera masters, it starts with a terrible green cast that has to be removed. The standard tool for handling this problem for ages has been the SCNR tool. This color is green, so I'll tell the SCNR tool in PixInsight to remove the green. It removes the green and leaves us with a somewhat blue cast that often happens after SCNR is run on green. But what I want to illustrate here is that every time SCNR is run, it doesn't color balance information, it removes imbalanced information. Flat out removes it from your image. Use SCNR and your image quality dies. I'll illustrate this by running SCNR several more times on this image, each time removing the green cast and then the blue cast. Notice how, as I do, each time the image degrades a little bit. I'll run it one more time, and at this time the degradation is very obvious. You can see it in particular in the fine detail in this image. It just keeps getting softer and softer every time SCNR is run. SCNR stands for Subtractive Chromatic Noise Reduction, and what a misnomer. Because the SCNR tool does not remove noise, it removes signal. What it does in fact is clip the signal of whatever color you activated on, removing any signal in that color component that does not match the signal strength of the other components. Frank Merrick, a brilliant programmer who creates the SETI Astro Suite, observed this effect some time ago and explains the mathematics behind it quite well. I'll link his video in the description. I had observed it as well and came up with my own way to color balance the information, a way that uses tools already in PixInsight and Serial that are simple and quick to apply and don't cause signal degradation. Let me show you my method for OSC color balancing. It's very simple and we're going to go through this quickly. And if you shoot one-shot color camera information, if you use this method, you can color balance all your future images without losing information. I use the exact same method I'm about to show you to color balance information from a mono camera, and theoretically speaking, this should work fine for information from any camera, whether that's an astrophotography camera or a DSLR, and regardless whether the camera shoots in monochrome or color. And I'll point out again that the information that I'm using to create this video was shot with a one-shot color camera, but using a dual band filter, and it even works just fine with that. In fact, I found the method I'm about to show you to be the most reliable method for color balancing any information. So I'm pretty confident you're going to find it works just fine for you. Here's our original OSC color master again. The green image in the background is just a calibration image. I'll get rid of it. Then I'll run a screen transfer function on it, a temporary stretch so that you can see the color cast. Now I'm going to run the Split RGB Channels tool on this. I already have this in my toolbar, but if you don't, you can find it in the Images drop-down menu under the Extract Side menu. Couldn't be simpler to use, just activate the tool. It'll divide the one-shot color image, or any color image, into its red, green, and blue components. I'll just lay them all up beside each other so that we can see them. Now I'm going to color balance these the exact same way that I would color balance information from a monochrome camera. I'll open the Statistics tool and drag the tab from the RG and B components into the Statistics tool. watching for which one has the lowest median. Then I'll open the linear fit tool and drag the tab from the one with the lowest median into the reference image and drag the action icon onto the other two images. In this case, the red component has the lowest median, so I'll use the red components as the reference image and drag the action icon onto the green and blue components. After the linear fit tool runs on each master, I'll hit Ctrl F12 to reset the screen transfer function, and then I'll hit Ctrl A to start a new screen transfer function. It's not essential, it just creates a temporary stretch that allows us to see what the master looks like now. Now the green and blue components are color balanced with the red components. I'll open the channel combination tool and drag the tab from each component into the red, green, and blue spaces on the channel combination tool. When they're all in place, I'll activate the tool. And just like that, we have an RGB color balance master that has not suffered from loss of information, like what would happen if you use the SCNR tool to do your color balancing. And there are no additional scripts to download, no new applications to learn how to use, because the tools that I've used to do this operation are all native to PixInsight and Cyril. And after about an hour of developing, this is the final result. This information was shot using a dual band filter, but I've tested this method on masters from another OSC and also a DSLR, both shooting broadband. And in all cases, it worked not only fine, but was entirely reliable. Let me know how it goes for you and what you think. Thanks for watching, and as always, get out there and shoot the sky.